Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing last night's disaster against French side Lyon. Manchester City crashed out of the Champions League in the quarter-final stage for the third consecutive season at the helm of the 7th best team in France. It says it all really. Again, we really should have won. We were massive favourites. And in reality, we should be playing Bayern Munich on Wednesday. But instead, our season is now over. We can reflect on it. It's been a relatively poor season. We did end with one trophy. Tomorrow there will be a full-on season review where I go through everything. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Before we do get into today's video though, make sure to leave a like, subscribe and turn notifications on if you haven't already. The season is over but content will resume. I'm going to try and keep it pretty much daily until I end up going back to school. But yeah, for the next week or so I'll be reflecting on the season until Premier League fixtures come out next Friday. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on into the video. So today I'm going to be discussing 5 things that went wrong yesterday in yesterday's disaster, like I said, to Lyon. I think all City fans were feeling pretty down today. It was a poor performance and it wasn't one I really expected. However, when you saw the team sheet, it was something that you were prepared for. My number 1 for things that went wrong yesterday is Pep got the tactics wrong again. It seems like a constant theme for Pep Guardiola. Gets to this stage, the quarterfinals, Bayern Munich gets to semi-finals, and then he goes and overthinks it unnecessarily. Yesterday, if we went out and we played our normal 4-3-3, we played the way we want to play, I am confident we beat Lyon. You saw the second Mahrez came on and we switched that 4-3-3. The game changed, we started dominating more, and yes, they did score 2 goals, but that was due to poor game management, which is a completely separate thing that I'm not even going to mention, because there were still 5 things worse than the game management yesterday. But we've seen it time and time again. In the first leg against Spurs, we were too conservative. We rested De Bruyne, rested Sané. Against Liverpool, we did that weird thing where Gundogan went wide. And at Bayern Munich, every year he got to semi-finals and he overfought it and ended up getting beaten. And it is what it is. I mean, I still think Pep's the best manager in the world, even though he gets his things wrong. But it is a concern that makes me think we may never win a Champions League under him, because it always seems to happen. He treated it almost like a first leg again. And this year we've got no second leg to bail us out. Not that we have ever bailed ourselves out in the second leg anyway. I think every City fan, when they saw that team lineup, was a little bit concerned. Lining up with a 3, one of which was an old 35-year-old and the other one was a 20-year-old that didn't even want to be at the club. To be fair to Eric Garcia, he was excellent yesterday. He was one of the only good players that I can actually vouch for and say he gave himself a good account yesterday. Although he lacked pace, and that did show. We had 3 central midfielders, 2 of which were defensive, as if we didn't need more defensive players, considering we already had 5 defenders on the pitch. So yeah, in terms of tactics, he got it all wrong. We should have started with 4-3-3. He shouldn't have been so scared of Lyon, but it is what it is. He knows best. He's done things that us... Against Real Madrid, he happened to pull out a masterclass and a genius move. Against Lyon, he happened to pull out a disaster class with a poor move. So it balances out, but yeah, it's a shame that we lost. And I think you have to say Pep was probably most at fault for yesterday's defeat. The next thing that went wrong yesterday, Fernandinho did not have a good game, to say the least. I love Fernandinho, and for the last 5-6 years, he has been nothing short of excellent for us. He's been brilliant. This year, even this year, he has held a good account of himself, even at centre-back, when we all know he was a midfielder last year. He was the best midfielder in the league last season, in my opinion. But I think after yesterday, we've learned he's past it. I'm willing to keep him as like a 5th choice centre back, a 3rd choice hold midfielder, but it was just the simple things yesterday. Like, he was missing headers that isn't normally missed. He was getting beaten in sprint races, and every time they were looking to exploit that side, maybe even if we were going to use that system, which I don't think we should have, as I've already said, maybe putting Walker as a right centre back, Mendy at left wing, that Cancelo at right wing, that may have worked better, because we did just lack pace in that defence. That defence is so slow. Laporte's got a reasonable amount of pace, but not much. Garcia, we already know, is slow. And Fernandinho's 35. He's not going to be catching up to Memphis Depay, is he? So yeah, like I said, I think Fernand's past that. I'd keep him around just because he's got that bit of experience that we want. And he's still handy. He's not a bad player. I just don't think he's the type of player we need if we want to start moving forward from this season. Next on the list is another fault of Pep's. Poor subs. A problem again. Yesterday, it was clear we needed subs at least at half time, because it was that bad that first half. We were the 2nd best team on the pitch by a country mile. We weren't creating anything. And Pep chose not to make a change until 55 minutes. As soon as he brought Mahrez on, instantly we started getting control of the game again. We scored, and we did look the better team. But then his only other sub happened to be David Silva, who Sadly, he's now no longer a City player. Played his final game for the club. No one's going to talk about that though, because obviously it was a pretty poor performance and that's not what we were thinking of. But that was probably the wrong sub as well. We could have done with a Bernardo or a Foden that's going to bring energy to the game, not a David Silva that means we have even less pace on the pitch than we already did. But this is a fault of Pep's I've been saying all year, pretty much since he came. I can remember saying it was Liverpool last year that his subs were wrong. I remember saying it on several occasions, his subs are not very good. This is the only two flaws I generally think Pep has: overthinking big games and poor subs. They are the things he always gets wrong. And I can get past it because he is such a great manager, but it is concerning that every game pretty much we do see poor substitutions. Even in the league we were seeing just games that didn't matter and he was choosing his subs poorly. He was not subbing on the young players when we all know they should have been getting game time. It's just disappointing to see, but like I said, he's a great manager. All these people saying Pep out as well, just go away from this club, because honestly, the second Pep leaves, it's going to be a sad day for City. And I can tell you, and I can guarantee you, that this club is going to go much worse than we are in right now. On the subject of Pep leaving, however, he does need to start buckling up and deciding what his future is going to be, because he now leaves in less than 12 months from Man City with his current contract. So he either needs to sign a deal before the new season, or we've got to get some sort of plans in place for our next manager. Because the thing with City, since the Sheikh Mansour era, obviously we started with Mark Hughes, the first appointment, Mancini, and since then there's always been a plan. Mancini was brought in to win us our first trophy. He did so with the FA Cup and Premier League. He then got sacked, went to Pellegrini, and instantly you could tell it was a short-term plan to get us playing nice playing, attacking football, ready for Pep Guardiola to come at the end of his contract of Bayern. And now we've got Pep. I felt that's kind of the end of the plan, so we've now got to kind of figure out our next plan. We've got to start moving on. If Pep wants to sign a new deal, great. Ideally, it's going to be longer than 1 year. If it's only 1 year, not sure how much of a benefit that's going to be. I'd like to see Pep sign until 2024, match Klopp's contract, and then when Klopp leaves, Pep can leave, and it kind of, us and Liverpool start a new slate at the same time at least. Because if Pep leaves while Klopp's still in charge, I just see it being Liverpool domination until the end of his tenure. But yeah, if Pep is going to leave, I do think we need to sort of decide now and get it done literally within the next 2 weeks or so, because we've got a big chance win ahead of us, and if Pep's not going to be the man in charge past next season, we kind of need to decide who we're getting so that they know what they're building with, because for all we know, we could be going to a manager that doesn't want any of the players we're signing, and then we get 1 year of greatness out of Pep, and then what next? Anyway, moving on to the next problem from yesterday's match. It is another frequent problem that we've had all season. We've had it since Pep joined. We've had it probably since longer than Pep joined. And that is us missing chances. At 2-1, City have an open goal needed to score by Raheem Sterling, and he misses it. And it is no surprise to any of us City fans. We've missed so many chances this season. It's been a tale of our story, as you'll see in my season review tomorrow. The amount of games we've lost because of poor finishing is incredible. The Southampton game yesterday, the fact Sterling didn't score that is atrocious. One thing I will say, Sterling was the best player on the pitch yesterday, and him and Garcia, I think, were the only ones that can hold their head high. I thought he was man of the match. So yeah, he did miss a sitter, but I'm not going to be too annoyed at him because he did play excellently yesterday. And if he'd scored that, it would have been a perfect performance, but he didn't. And as a result, everyone's going to give him hate. But it is what it is, that's football. But yeah, I'm not going to blame Sterling too much. But yeah, missing these chances is becoming a problem. And we've known it for ages as City fans. Every game we lose, you feel like we miss at least 4 or 5 big chances. Yesterday we didn't even have that many, but a chance like that should be scored 10 times out of 10, 100 times out of 100. But you know, even the best players miss open goals sometimes. We've even seen Ronaldo and stuff miss. I think he's missed 2 open goals in the same match before. So yeah, it is what it is. But we've got to be scoring our chances. The final issue I have with yesterday's game, the thing that went wrong, we lack pace badly. In yesterday's lineup, we had a back three of Garcia, Laporte, and Fernandinho, none of which had pace. We had a midfield of De Bruyne, Rodri, and Gundogan. Rodri and Gundogan both known. We all know they're very slow. Kev doesn't exactly ooze with pace. He's not slow, but he's not quick. That team yesterday needed more pace. That was how we're going to beat them. What Lyon did beat us in every department was they were quicker and they were stronger than us. And that's why I just don't understand why we didn't start Bernardo. Literally, even with the system, just start Bernardo, because he runs a lot. He's physical. He just would have given us more yesterday. We didn't need to be so defensive. But yeah, also when you're playing that high of a line against Depay, Toko Akambi, and Maxwell Cornett, by the way, cannot stand him. The amount of times he dived yesterday and didn't get booked, I thought was atrocious. When you play that high of a line with that slower defence, it's never going to work. That's why we need new defenders, and that's what we are doing, to be fair. Ake is reasonably quick. Koulibaly is reasonably quick. So hopefully that issue will be sorted out next season. But it is something we need to sort out, because a slow defence with a high line does not work well. And had we been playing Bayern Munich next Wednesday, that could have ended badly. Anyway, that's the 5 things. Just before I do end, I'm going to add this on. It's not part of the 5 things, so I didn't want to sound too salty. But VAR yesterday, again, is poor. We've been shafted by referees 4 years in a row now in the Champions League. It does very much annoy me. Against Monaco, we should have had a penalty. Subotic fouled Aguero, not given. Aguero booked for diving. That goal could have made a huge difference in the tie. Against Liverpool, they have an offside goal, and we have 2 goals given as offside when they were both onside. All things that make a massive difference in that tie. Against Tottenham, Llorente handballs it, it's not given. And yesterday, Laporte so clearly fouled, and it wasn't given. That really frustrated me, and that does change the game. And so in terms of VAR, they've got to sort it out, because in such a big game like that, you've got to get every decision right, especially the big ones. And I can't believe that wasn't given as a free kick, but it is what it is. Can't complain too much. Anyway, that's all from me today. I'll be back tomorrow with my season review. Leave in the comments what are your instant thoughts from yesterday's match. On a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed are you? I'm probably an 8. Really should have won. Although I said in my preview to the Champions League, I didn't think we were going to make it past Bayern Munich anyway. So that does make me feel slightly better, although the fact that we've not managed to get to that stage does slightly annoy me. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with more. Leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.